And you already sent it out the tweet?
Yeah, I just sent it out. We live right now. So if y'all can retweet, let people know. Now. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So also too, let's do a sharp close at 10:50. My time 10:50. 10 minutes before the hour. Perfect. All right. Let's get this show on the road. Want to talk? Do like we do on the next block. We'll do a little market talk. How y'all feeling right now with these DeFi llama and everything going on?
Well, hoping that nothing is going on. Hoping where it's all vanilla and bland and just a glitch that some people seem to be tweeting about.
Yeah, I was blissfully ignorant until I got on the stream here. So, yeah, hopefully, like you said, hopefully it is just a glitch.
Yeah, we need with Elon Musk taking over Twitter, we need a pump to come from this. So Dogecoin needs to go back on a meme run. We need to see some things happening. Maybe leading into election day, some things can happen that'll give some positivity to the market, and maybe we can turn some risk back on and see a pump heading into Decipher, heading into FIFA for Algorand, a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. So obviously I'm short-term bullish, still a lot of crazy stuff going on, but one would hope that we get some type of relief rally maybe to end Q4.
So I've been trying to decipher whether, no pun intended, right? Trying to decipher whether, how much of this pump is just Algorand following all the other coins. Cause I've just noticed that they all seem to kind of follow the same pattern in general. They just do it to different degrees. But then, Algorand's had a lot of positive stuff, that TVL super high despite the glitch recently. And then of course we've had FIFA, which had to have brought like a lot of people in, and, FIFA, and then just I forgot my second thing I was going to mention, but there's just been a lot of positive. Well, and then liquid governance too. That's super positive right now. So it just seems like there's a lot of positive momentum, but I don't know how much of it is attributable to that and just otherwise just following the crypto trends.
Yeah.
I definitely like what you said. It's definitely. We follow Bitcoin. Every coin follows Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin just hit that 20K, you see Ethereum hit 15, Algorand went to 33 cent. It is that's how it goes. But it is cool. What I do like is that some coins, when Bitcoin say 3x, right, get back to 70K, something like an Algorand got about a 5x in it, and that's what
it's funny. I was at a conference, at the start of a conference, the Web3 proppy real estate went down in Miami yesterday, and was really expecting just to hear real estate talk and stuff like that. And the second panel, I didn't stay for all the panels, but the second panel they had a guy, he was seen as their crystal ball guy, right? And so it was an interesting group of people up on stage talking NFTs, crypto, and real estate. And the one guy, he was a Bitcoin maxi to the 10. Like immediately he was just like, forget the altcoins, get them out of your head, like get in Bitcoin. The halving is coming up in 2024. We're going to see a possible relief rally here soon. We're going to hit the bottom of the bear market come 2023. That's when you're going to buy as much as you can, and then 2 months after the halving, you're going to see the biggest run up to 500,000 for one Bitcoin, and that's when you're going to sell. So he was obviously maybe thinking we might see some type of relief rally, but he obviously sees 2023 as possibly worse than, maybe not worse as in like as long going down, but I think there's a very high chance we could see some capitulation in 2023 for sure.
I think the real key is to get Jim Cramer to tweet about the going down, and then that will drive up the price.
I mean, he's crying on live TV about Meta. That. I mean, it's God, it's sad, honestly.
Hey, like, Meta looking like a not Dr. ASAs, but looking like an ASA.
I mean, it's like 4 o'clock is their rug time, right? After 4 p.m., that's when they rug everything, because then you can't do nothing about it. At least with crypto, you could still get out. Not that you'd want to, but they have their rugs set at a certain time. The pumps are at right when the market opens, and the rugs are right when the market closes.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get to it. Christian, So we got Christian, the founder of Niftgen, a big supporter and a collaborator for all of us content creators in the Algorand ecosystem. Welcome again to the show. This time we're switching it up. Christian is going to be more asking us questions and getting an understanding of our visions of Web3, our vision of what we could do with Niftgen. Someone says hello.
Perfect.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's get this going. All right, so guys, thank you for having me on the show. Like always a pleasure to talk to all of you guys. So like C will said, we're gonna flip the script. Like I'm gonna ask you guys some questions now, and I have some pretty some interesting questions because also for those some people in the ecosystem may not know you guys, although it's pretty difficult to imagine. But I've actually spoken to some people that don't know who you guys are, who are actually probably tuning in today. So kind of like one of the questions I wanted to kind of ask, I call them icebreakers, and this is kind of cool. In which, and I'll let you guys choose who wants to go first, and you all go one by one. So I have a sore throat today, of course. So what was the point where you guys decided that you wanted to pursue being a video creator, and why? When was the one point where you said, all right, I want to become a video creator, let's get to it? And I'll let you guys answer.
I'll go first. For me, it was, I got into crypto. I was more or less, I left banking and finance. I was in the mortgage world. Really wasn't on social media. I was actually leaving almost all of social media. I barely use Facebook anymore. Never even, my Twitter, I hadn't had it since probably 2015. I don't even know. It had been a long time since I had Twitter. And I used YouTube, but never thought really of creating content. Funny enough, I'd always tried to push my wife to do content creation, because she's just an person that once you meet her, her laugh is infectious. She's just nervous, I guess, getting in front of a camera. But outside of everything else, I really think she could be I thought she would be one of those people that could do a day in the life of videos, and she does extensions and hair. And so I thought people would probably love to watch how you do all that stuff. But nonetheless, she didn't really want to do it. And so we moved down to Florida and kind of starting over a little bit. And I really hadn't picked anything up yet. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. And so it's trying my hand out in finance, right? I was starting to swing trade stocks, started there. And then I started to dip my toe into crypto. And once I found Algorand, I kind of saw the early start of what could be the future of finance, right? Banking, smart contracts, loans, things like that, which I thought could actually help the industry. Where I saw with even the credit union I was at, a lot of, let's just say not the best lending guidelines and too much personal input in if someone should be approved. I saw smart contracts obviously being able to come in and change that and make it more ethical and more just the ability to get people in. And so I was in a Discord, a pretty big one, Stockmos, who has his own YouTube channel. He's got 500,000 subscribers, probably almost closer to 600,000 now. But I was in his Discord and obviously would watch his videos and chime in. And then I started learning about Algorand, where he was big into Ethereum. And then I was just kind of messaging him in the chat one day, hey, you should have me on your channel to talk Algorand. And he actually agreed to it. And I was like, that's kind of crazy. This guy's got 500,000 subscribers. I'm just a guy in his Discord. And I was like, maybe I should be creating content. And so, and obviously I thought, with him having 500,000, that'd be a great, diving board. I got a jump spring to kind of launch off of. So kind of just started it right there. And obviously it took off, got monetized pretty quickly, and enjoyed creating to an extent. And obviously that's kind of how I got into it. So I'll let somebody else go.
Awesome.
Go ahead, Frugal.
All right, man. Well, so I as I've always said, I have a face for radio and a voice for newspapers. So how I became a video creator is still a little mind blowing to me. But I came kind of from the personal finance world, and I was big in the FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that at all.
FIRE,
yeah. And so I had a blog for a while called Frugal Wheels, and it was all about personal finance and how to invest a lot of your money and make it grow. And I was always in crypto a little bit, since I was kind of interested in Bitcoin back in the early days, but I never bought into it because it looked a little bit complicated. You had to send money orders to people. It's not like it is now. Yep. And then I think I actually bought some Bitcoin and some Bitcoin and some Ethereum and Litecoin back in the summer of 2017. So I was just buying little bit amounts when I get paid. Most of my money was still going into low cost index funds, excuse me. And then all of a sudden it just kind of blew up, and all of a sudden I had all this money in my crypto account. I was like, what is this? And I started hearing crazy stories about people like borrowing massive amounts of money to buy crypto. And I thought, oh no, this is not good. And as soon as I saw it start to dip a little bit, I'm like, I'm gonna take my profits and get out of this thing. This is weird. And then I kind of got back into it. Meanwhile, I started a YouTube channel in the very beginning of 2021. And I initially started it just to have videos for I was going to do the same topics on the YouTube channel as I did my blog. So I thought it would help the SEO there. And then I no one cares about that stuff. No one watches it. Telling people to earn 4% or 8% or whatever. No one cares. No one gets interested. But then I started.
Not when Doge is going up 10,000%.
Exactly. Yeah. So then I started doing a little bit on some of the crypto projects I was doing, and that stuff got a lot more views. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess people want that. I'll make more of this, and I'll just kind of sneak the personal finance lessons in around the edges. So that's still sort of my secret mission, is to give people better personal finance skills. And then I said, well, how am I going to approach this? And I thought, well, a lot of the crypto content I would come across, and this is especially true of stuff like on the Ethereum blockchain and stuff, you get these really, really, oh, well, look at that. That's pretty cool. You get these like really hyper videos. Everything's awesome. This thing works great. And then there's like 10 things they didn't tell you about, and like these sticking points. So I said, all right, I'm going to do this. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it where I do the experiment and I tell you all the stuff, the good, bad, and the ugly, and you can decide for yourself. And then Algorand kind of came about because I'd bought Algorand in my Coinbase wallet because I'm like, hey, cool, a thing that pays like 6% just for holding it. It sounds good to me. And then when they cut that off, I'm like, oh, I got to send it to a wallet, I guess, to earn. So all right, let's do that. And then I made a video about that. And then Yieldy came out, and I'm like, I just happened to come across an article about it like the day it launched. So I'm like, okay, I'm getting in on this. Let's try it. And then I did videos about that, and then more stuff came out. There was more videos to make. And I still say that I'm not really an Algorand creator. I just do most of my content on Algorand because it actually works.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's a great story as well. For myself, so let me see. I first got into Bitcoin around 2018. Like, I was aware of it. So I live in Portland. We have a Max line, so like a train. So I was riding the train, met some random dude telling me about some random stuff. That I was like, okay, I'm listening. At that time, I met actually two people. One guy was telling me about Forex, right, and then another guy was telling me about crypto. So I looked into both of them. Both of them I did not understand well. So I was sitting here with this random dude, like, 2 weeks later on PoloNex, some sketchy site, trying to figure out how to buy Bitcoin. Couldn't figure it out, so I ended up quitting. But then about 20 later that year, I was, into YouTube. I'll call it my number one social media. I probably watch YouTube like it's television, essentially, and I listen to all the podcasts on there. But I was like telling my friends, like, man, if we can drop 3 videos a week on YouTube, we'll have traction, like guaranteed, right? So few years later, after finding Algorand on Coinbase and getting deeper into crypto and getting my understanding up, I started my YouTube channel. It was not about Algorand. I just started, kind of like Frugal said, just financial literacy and crypto in general. And then by my third video, I started speaking about Algorand, and then it kept kind of being a reoccurring theme over time. And then here we are, a year later, David or so, we connected, created the next block, which used to be called Pardon the Crypto. And then just things are just rolling, basically. Now I'm a Algorand creator. But same like again, I happen to value the technology more. It made sense when I was trying to make NFTs. It made sense when I was educating people. It just made more sense than using Ethereum and other rival currencies, essentially.
Okay, do you guys do any other non-Algorand content, or are you just fully 100% Algorand now?
No. My channel is, I'll say, like 75% Algorand. I'll have people from real estate on. I'll talk about Elron. I'll talk about Cosmos. I'll talk about 7 other blockchains, but most of it is Algorand because of what we described.
Nice.
Yeah, for me, I was I still, I mean, obviously with the next block, we talk various cryptos, mainly Algorand, but we do have various people on my own personal channel. The only I enjoy streaming games. So once Niftgen actually launches, one of the things I hope once they have the functionality for live videos is to actually create more of a Algorand gaming type channel.
Oops, sorry, y'all.
No, you're good.
Still get used to this sometime. Yeah. What was that question again, Rugal? Any other cryptos you said?
Yeah, I was just talking about whether there's any other projects that you guys talk about besides. I don't think I have many other chains I talk about. I've done some I was into Townstar for a while, and then that what happened there. Of course, they cut off the distribution, and now they're pretending that everyone. How dare they buy these thousands of dollars NFTs and not expect a return? It's like, come on, guys. I did some Cake DeFi, and I don't know. There's not really a good off ramp for that. No. So I don't know. It's like all the other projects I've done, they just haven't really held my interest the way Algorand has, because, like I said, the stuff just seems to work.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's always been cheap. It's always been fast. It's always been pretty much secure. There's been mainly one hack that's happened on Algorand, being Tiny Man. And obviously that did, come at a time where it being the only real hub for DeFi and swapping, that was a decent, time in the ecosystem. But so far it's shown with some of the other ones like AlgoFi folks, Humble and a lot of the other things building that has been secure. But I do, it kind of still, even like today, seeing the stuff, that we saw on DeFi Llama, even though it's just them redoing how they do the math behind it. But, as Algorand grows, more eyes are going to come on Algorand. So some of those eyes will be malicious. And so it's going to be one of those things where it, just like with all crypto, it's still the wild, wild west. So, have fun while you can. And when the music's playing, be dancing. But then if it stops, don't be afraid to get out and wait on the sidelines for a bit.
Facts. Yeah. Like, what's good, PG?
Hey guys, how's it going? All good.
Right on.
All right, Philip, you got questions? Go ahead. Back to you, Philip, or Christian. Excuse me.
No, Philip, you have a question you want to ask to the crowd? I have a list of questions, but if you have something you want to ask them, go right ahead, my friend. Or we can take turns. You choose.
I mean, no, I think Christian, you could go ahead for now.
Gotcha.
I'll hop on.
Sure, gotcha. Yeah, kind of going back to Sewell, what you said, my first experience into crypto was also when I read the Bitcoin white paper. I really should have bought Bitcoin when I remember it was $4.12 when I first saw it, right? I could pretty much be retiring in the Bahamas right now. I could own an island right now, pretty much, if I had bought it back then. So that was great. Other questions I can ask. There's no way I can ask all the great questions I have, so I have to cherry pick. Oh, this is a good one. So this is specifically for video creators in general. So YouTube lately, right, lately in the past 3 years, they're literally bringing on what they call as creator advisors, right? Kind of to ask for advice on what can be done to improve YouTube to help video creators better monetize their content, right? That's been going on for the past 4 years, right? So the reason I'm doing the startup, the reason Philip and I are doing the startup, is to help you video creators better monetize your content. Because for those of you that don't know, there's over 60 million video creators on YouTube and Twitch, and more than 98% of them earn less than US poverty line of $12,000 per year. In other words, video creators don't make any money. So my question is, and this is kind of what I'm curious to hear your thoughts about you creators. YouTube has been bringing on these advisors to ask for advice on how to change that. Nothing has happened. Why is that? I'm curious to think why you guys think about that. I have my own personal thoughts, but I'm curious to hear other people's opinion.
I'll say this. YouTube has got a perfect system figured out. They have people like us put a lot of time and effort in, and then we'll use the platform, and then they take most of the money. But at the same time, we do, YouTube does allow us to grow an audience via their SEO and all the platform that they do have. So I feel like it's a give and take. And I know once you're a publicly traded company, it's hard to care about a normal regular person. It's more about revenue, how much money we can make, is the ads popping, booming. So I think that's why things are slow moving to help YouTubers or content creators expand or grow more is because why would they if it's already working?
Yeah, I would just to piggyback off that. My thought would just be, I mean, if not YouTube, what? Right? I mean, yeah, you could stream to Twitch or you can make videos, but I don't really think Twitch is that much better. I mean, it has its own issues. So if you're someone who wants to create content and you want to get your videos to to the masses and to have a chance to make it big, you're going to use YouTube. So if they're already the top dog, right? Google owns them. So you type something in on Google how to, what's going to pop up? Well, I mean, there may be some links to other things, but 90% of the time, 95, it's going to be a YouTube video that they can get you to go watch, which then they're going to market you. So they already have a monopoly of the entire system, and they make all the money because they're in control, right? And you're more at their mercy, hoping to hey, if you make it big enough or if you get the right connections. I mean, there's a new YouTuber, I think he's starting out, but he's right under BitBoy Crypto's wings. I mean, he's big into Algorand from what I see, but someone like him is going to be way higher positioned to get that mass effect and adoption than someone who's just starting out without those connections. I mean, it's just the way the world is. It's who not really what you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd echo a lot of what they said. I kind of feel the same way. I think YouTube does a great job of finding an audience for you. I mean, we've all been in this for a couple, 3 years, and we've gotten a pretty good sizable audience by talking about what we like. So I think it does a good job in that. And yeah, the money part is tricky. I know the common saying is that most YouTubers, they make more money from monetization strategies that aren't from the platform. So the ad revenue is really the cherry on top. A friend of mine runs e-bikes escape e-bike escape, and it's all about e-bikes, and he has affiliate links for pretty expensive e-bikes, so he makes most of his money off of selling the bikes. And I think it's true, you do have to get up to a pretty good size before it could really be sustainable. So I'm glad that Niftgen came along. When I saw what you were talking about, I was like, well, this sounds very exciting and a good way to kind of help us out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. No, sure. Yeah, go for it, see Will.
I was just saying for sure, because like I try to be mindful with YouTube. It is a free tool, so we don't have to pay them for this. We just have to give our time into it. So I try to be mindful with that.
Yeah, but no, I don't know. Like that's the way the world wants to spin everything. Like Netflix is, it was free. There are so many things that are free, right? Fortnite's free, right? Even no, I can't think of the game that just got released, but they released it as a free version, right? It's marketing to say it's free, but it's not free. They're using you, right? It's it's almost like I don't want to. I'm not going to say.
They say if it's free, it's a product. Then so.
Yeah, it is, but it's I don't know. It's bullyish, I guess would be my word to like. I don't know. It comes back to the algorithm, and just like when you're trying to create and grow from a start, like they don't do the best, I feel like, at helping, smaller channels feel rewarded for the content they bring, especially if their community is still a tight knit community and it's growing and whatnot. Like until you really, bring in the money, like a Mr. Beast or a BitBoy Crypto or some of the major ones, PewDiePie, like they don't really take notice of you. And so it's interesting. I hadn't actually heard of the advisors, but I would kind of wonder what their role would be in, smaller content creators versus bigger ones, maybe, and stuff like that.
I will say their shorts monetization announcement was pretty weird. Like, oh, you just got to get like 10 million views or something. I'm like, yeah, I think getting regular video views was a lot easier, frankly.
Yeah, and that was something too that just like, I wanted to start creating shorts, and then I realized that all the shorts videos I did, there's no chance of actually making money off those. So then I got to make sure I'm at my computer to make a full-on video. I can't just, like TikTok or something. I can't just turn my phone on, make a quick content video for my viewers, publish it, and then be rewarded for that. Like it's like under 2 minutes, it's not only going to benefit us. If it's over 2 minutes and you actually do more, then maybe we'll give you some money based on ad revenue.
I tried for like 2-3 weeks and I was like, nah, I just hate, I don't like doing it. Because I was like, well, I can do these shorts and then I can just take the video and throw it up on TikTok and see how that does. And after a few weeks, I'm like, you know what? I don't like the short form. I like the long form video. I like being able to put my thoughts out there instead of having to be like the Micro Machine guy or something, get it all in 60 seconds. So that's just my thoughts.
Yeah, I like the shorts, but yeah, it is the thing that you don't get no monetization opportunities on there. Your views will go up, but that doesn't equate to subscribers either. So it's kind of like it just gives you more views, it seems like.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I just wanted to add, guys, because like I'm currently at an event, like a Web3 event. Actually, David, I'm not going to mention the YouTuber because I don't want to take it public yet, but David knows who he is. Christian knows who he is. But I was speaking with this one YouTuber. He has over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. He's kind of big, and he's having trouble monetizing. He can't even do this full time. So, I mean, if somebody like that is having trouble, I mean, I think that's a big problem because I mean, Christian and I used to speak with this one YouTuber, crypto space. He had 25,000 subscribers, and we were like, okay, this guy's got to be making some decent money, right? I mean, maybe not a living, but at least something to boost, I guess, his income, whatever. He was like, I make about $400 a month. It's like, seriously? Wow. I mean, he was getting like on average, I don't know, like 10, 20,000 views per video. And he's even struggling to monetize. So that kind of tells you that, of course, the YouTube algorithm comes into play. And of course, they'll look at things like how many people view at least 80% of your video and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, I mean, really, like even once because it took him 2 years to build up that 25,000 following, right? That 25,000 subscriber base. And he's still not making money. He's like, I have to do other things. YouTube's not even really my thing. So it's like at that point, it was like, do we really need to say more about the fact that this is a problem? And it's like right there at our face. But it was just something that like kind of fresh on my mind, like literally seeing it in the flesh, kind of like really brought forth just the severity of the problem.
Yeah, I feel like it's also just like the whole, like, I'd love to know the data around like how much money Google, YouTube makes off of selling the data that, they get from all their people, like, per person, like, per click and stuff like that. Cause it'd be interesting to see how much money, if I make it like I think my biggest video has over 30,000 views, it'd be interesting to see like how much money did they make off of that video that I made.
Well, the video part doesn't bother me as much as like the channel membership stuff. They take a huge cut if someone like subscribes to your channel. To me, you should get most of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's my opinion. I mean, they're I get that they're providing the advertising ecosystem, and so I understand them taking something of a cut on that, but I don't even think they should not take a cut at all, but it's pretty substantial. It's like,
yeah, I forget how much it was when we started our next block, when we were doing it to YouTube through, and people would give us super stickers. NF Domains would donate like $50 at the start of our show. And yeah, I think we ended up getting like maybe 30 of it or something. Like they take a massive chunk of that. And that's just like, that's money from our fans to us. And you're just like, oh, thank you. We'll take that because, we offer you a free platform.
Right.
In the part two, then it's like you still got to pay taxes and stuff like that,
Right.
So it's more involved after that we never even talk about. But no, my YouTube definitely isn't for money. I'm monetized, but it's not for money for sure. It's more of, to spread the information and use it for marketing and stuff like that rather than money.
Yeah. And I would even say that's how mine's evolved. Like I see our show as it's fun to do. When I got into it, obviously I saw the dollar signs. I saw the possibility of what could be, being a full-time content creator, living that life. But, then, once you kind of get in it and you realize, okay, let's take a couple steps back and let's see what's actually able to happen, then you realize, what, doing it for the fun and enjoyment of it. And then obviously if that financial freedom from doing it comes down the line, then, better.
Yeah. And just one quick thing I wanted to put in, like, remember, like, the fact that you guys are not paying for the product is because you are the product, right? So when you guys do the next block and stuff like that, when people join and they send the chat messages and stuff like that, it's data that they can use to sell to advertisers, right? That's how you, that in a nutshell, that's how YouTube and Google make money, right? Like, that's the thing, right? Like, the platform is not designed for you guys to achieve financial success. It's designed for you guys to do something and have fun, right? And that's why they propose, oh, we offer you the world. I'm like, 98% of video creators live below poverty line. Like, I don't care what people you can say. You can say that you can offer me even the Martians on Mars, but it doesn't matter. Like 98%.
And you got the 1% of content creators. I mean, I'll just throw his name out there, Mr. Beast, who makes so much money off of all this stuff that he literally has to give all of his money away. He literally has to give, that's why all of his videos are so crazy. Like, who can stay in this cold room or hot room the longest? Winner gets a Lamborghini and $1 million. Like, like he literally has to give it all away so he can do tax benefits because he makes too much. Like,
they offered him like $1 billion or something like that for his like his whole channel and everything, or his content, but he's like 10 billion. Like, you can give me way more than that. So he's like value his content at 10 billion.
I think he should do an Algorand version of one of his contests, and then the winner gets a Lambo with the Algo logo on
it. That'd do great for Algorand getting publicity. I don't really know how much it would help him, but
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I personally think that Niftgen is a platform for all creators, like from all sizes. I actually can make the argument, like, don't want to get in too much into the numbers, right? Because the video will take too long. But I think that creators who are making money on YouTube can make a lot more money going to Niftgen. Simply by the fact that on YouTube you get like viewers who are not that dedicated, who are not rewarded for engagement. I mean, like I always say that on YouTube, if you have a 5% engagement rate, that's considered absolutely fantastic. Which, if you're in school, 5% is an F minus, right? You should be crying every day if you get 5% in school. But on YouTube, it's considered great, and that's because users are not rewarded for their engagement. On Niftgen, users are going to be rewarded for that engagement, and then those rewards can be used to access special content and some other cool utilities we have planned down the road for Niftgen. So I definitely see our platform something like a good way of people to go away to like get off a little bit on YouTube and come here. But kind of like to ask some other questions, just to like move the topic a little bit. All right, so John Allen Woods, right? He's come into the ecosystem. He's brought in some nice positive energy and excitement. What are your thoughts? And I've seen like his interview you guys did on your show, right, on the next block. I'm curious to see like, what do you guys think about overall the job that he has done? I think he's done a great job, but I'm curious to see like your opinions, or more specifically, what do you think? What has he added to the ecosystem? Like, pretty much.
I mean, obviously, I think definitely he's done a great job, and he's a good person on. I would say the best thing he's doing, even though it might not even be his role in it, but he's vocal, right? He's on social media. When someone takes a dig at Algorand's tech, he's there in the comments, replying, correcting, maybe not even correcting, but giving good advice on like, that's not entirely true. Here's actually how it works. And he even said that, kind of before we went live with him, that, Algorand needs that, a Charles Hoskinson. It needs somebody who people can almost like, get behind, right? I mean, I always have said that should be Silvio. I love Silvio. I think he's a genius, but, social media is just not his forte. But John, I feel like could, fit into that. And not only does he bring the hype, and he's a good, eloquent speaker and tweeter, but he has the tech background and actually understands algo to explain it in a way that, anybody anywhere can understand it. So I think he's done a great job, just jumping into the space, not burning the bridge from Cardano to Algorand, but trying to unify that and build that bridge even stronger. And I look forward to, kind of what he was talking about on our show just a couple of days ago with, the algo kit and making it easier for for developers to build using Pyteal or, obviously Reach and things like that. But then also, helping grow the ecosystem and make people who build here enjoy building and want to build more. And that continues to grow. So I think he's done a great job.
Yeah, I'll second that. I would say just his ability to explain difficult concepts is very useful. So I want to say like I like Stacy a lot. She's been doing a great job as a CEO. But if I had to choose a speaker to kind of go out on the circuit and talk about it, like what Algorand is technically and fundamentally, I would definitely would like John Woods to do more of that, because you can ask him more complicated questions in regards to the technology, and he will be able to explain that. And then also, I like that he is open to more than one blockchain, right? And I think that's very important, because we're all in this space together trying to make mass adoption, whether you're on Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Algorand. We all want the same thing. We want people to use the technology, and we want a better financial system where we can be more sovereign. That's what most of us want. So I think John is good at explaining these type of things. So shout out.
Yeah, if I ever get Kathy Wood on that coffee date or on the next block, I'll make sure I get a little earpiece in. I'm gonna have a John on the other end, just like telling me everything to say.
Yeah,
I'm watching that one every day.
Yeah, day 37. I did get one person from her like ARK Invest brainstorming group or something it's called. Like he followed me, so we'll see if maybe I can. His DMs aren't open though, so it's not like I can just shoot him a DM and say like, hey, what coffee shop does she go to? I'll just go find her that way. But, yeah,
no,
but
I used to hop on her their monthly ARK Invest calls. You got to hop on one of those calls and submit your question.
Hey, that actually might you send me a link. I'll check it out.
Go ahead, Frugal. You hear about John?
Yeah, I don't have a super strong opinion. I don't follow the leadership too closely on Algorand. I will say though, I did reach out to him the other day because I've been trying to get a sense of what criteria the foundation uses when they give out these grants. And he did say he would put me. What's up?
I said that's not him.
No, he said he would. Well, I reached out to him because I saw he had a post about the super grants that he had written. But no, you're right. I don't think it's him. So he said he would. He said he'd put me in touch with the right people. So I appreciated his response. I'll have to check that. I'll have to check that video that you guys did with him.
Oh, it was amazing. Like
yeah.
Broke some things. Like just for example, just breaking down participation nodes and relay nodes and then comparing them to other ecosystems. He cleared my understanding. I feel I'm pretty educated in this space. So I think that's a good sign that made it, even for the people in the comments just chatting like, oh, this all makes sense. Like, so that's why I'm like, it's either got to be him or Silvio to actually go around and give people that understanding. Like, remember we was always talking about Silvio at the SALT conference, but I think he like really like killed that. And I remember it was AVAX up there, it was Near, it was Sana and all those things. And I feel like Silvio really showcased class, but also the understanding that Algorand's a transactional blockchain, breaking down what Algorand is doing and is useful for. So I think those are the conversations that need to be had globally.
Yeah, and I agree also with what you said, Siwa, that he does a good job at, I feel like because he comes from Cardano, like he has a multi-chain future thought, and he's good at like, talking about the great things of Algorand, but also being like, but we don't do this the best. There's going to be other chains that are going to excel at this, and that's the way he kind of broke down how he sees it. That certain things will be done for certain things, and other chains will be done for other ones. But 10 years from now, people won't be saying like, oh yeah, I use Algorand or I use Ethereum or I use Solana. It's just going to be exactly. I use this. I do that. Just like you YouTube something. Like you don't care what cloud service and what all the stuff that's working on the background of to get that video in front of your eyes. You just care how to make spaghetti, and it teaches you how to make spaghetti.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying too. It's like when you use your iPhone, you don't think, oh, I'm using flash memory. Look at this. I'm on the flash memory system,
Exactly.
Use your phone, right? Like that's what
it's just stuff for us nerds, and I'm not even like a real tech nerd, but it's just things that the nerds want to, get excited about now because I mean, honestly, people are all placing their bets on which tech might be used the most in the background. Because if you do place your bet and you pick the winning horse that gets used the most in the future, well, yeah, obviously it's going to pay off big for you. And maybe you'll be flaunting it, and you'll be like some of the people, pulling up in a Algorand Lamborghini or something. Who knows?
Well, that's why I was big on the FIFA thing, because you didn't need to get an Algorand wallet. You didn't need to know what Algorand was. You could just show up and get your NFTs and be good to go. And if you want to, you can, but eventually I feel like that's where it's got to go. It's got to be in the background, because no one's the vast majority of people just aren't going to like care this deeply or try to understand it.
Oh yeah.
Like I did the koalas wildlife warriors thing with the Australian Zoo. I won one of those NFTs, and I actually hadn't interacted with the Meadow Labs platform to go claim it, but super smooth. Like obviously use Para, every single time I hit, accept transaction, like a second later it's done, moving on to the next step. Like the next best thing, like kind of like what FIFA did, is you're only going to have the wallet and hold your keys and all that stuff if you want to, right? If you just want to, you're them to custodial it and everything like that, then hey, it's there and you trust that place. But you're not going to have to know all about wallets and seed phrases and all the stuff that can be confusing.
Yeah, exactly. So John Allen Woods, I love what he's done with the ecosystem so far. I mean, and you guys all touched upon it. He makes like complicated technology, because blockchain is complicated. He makes it simple and fun to learn. And I think if you can get which is hard to do, by the way, that's not easy. Like very few people can do that. I see a lot of similarities between him and Charles Hawkinson, because we were based on Cardano before coming over to Algorand. And I still watch Charles Hawkinson all the time. His AMAs are great, and it's because he has the ability to make something very complicated, fun, and engaging to learn. And John Woods can be just that person, which he makes something complicated easy for everybody to understand. I also love his roadmap for devs, like what they're doing with the universities to get people from a very young age to learn how to code with the blockchain. Also, like the Algo Kit, right, to make really the best environment for devs, not just blockchain devs, but Web2 developers to come onto Algorand and learn how to code. Because essentially, I think the blockchain that has the best developers is the one that's gonna like be better at something as opposed to others. I also agree that there's not going to be one dominant blockchain. Well, I mean, you wouldn't want that, right? You don't want a monopoly, right? That's terrible. Now we're just like Web2, but even worse. So I think we're going to have like each blockchain is going to be good at many things, but it's going to be really, really great at just one particular or two particular things. Like me, Algorand for sure, DeFi. I mean, that's going to be their bread and butter. I don't think there's any other blockchains out there that's going to be better than DeFi on Algorand. Then some other blockchain, like Cardano is probably going to be great for like supply chain stuff or identity stuff. I know that's like one of their bread and butters too. Solana, I think it's like anything that involves like, I mean, I don't know what application would need this, but like the Web3 version of
the on-off button.
Oh my God.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I know exactly. Like the Solana, it's like so the Web3 version of the Nasdaq that does like 1 million transactions a second. So that's something you could probably only build on Solana. But like you just said, though, if they keep on collapsing, that was a great pun. Like if it keeps on shutting off, then it doesn't matter really.
Don't worry, I think Aptos is the Solana killer. So I think they maybe fix the on-off switch. We'll see.
We'll see. All right. So another question I have. Oh yeah, Elon Musk buying Twitter, good or bad thing for in general for crypto?
I would say good. I mean, just a knee-jerk reaction. Obviously, we'll see, but I think it's good just because hopefully gets rid of the bots. Hopefully, verification gets better. I mean, hopefully, there's a lot of things that get better, but someone who is more crypto native and really wants to see crypto adopted, I really do believe Musk does. Hopefully it's more even in what gets attention and what doesn't get attention, instead of it all being just Bitcoin or something else. Altcoins don't get no love. I mean, as something as easy like, Bitcoin has the little Bitcoin symbol if you do a hashtag. Why doesn't Algorand? Why doesn't Solana? Why didn't all of them have that, right? So I think it's good. We'll just see you know, how the politics of everything go, because you know Musk is a very big guy in the space, so he can influence a lot. But I think it's bullish.
My fear is that Twitter just goes down, because if anyone looks at the financials and the debt, they ain't doing well, and they haven't done well for years. And all he did was put more debt into it. Now it's going to be in a worse situation financially. So my fear is that, you know, he doesn't pull it out of the trash financial situation that is in, and then the banks own Twitter and it's back to kind of where we were at. That's what I'm thinking. But in regards to cryptocurrency adoption, like he might as well push Dogecoin like he's been doing and just keep doing whatever he's going to do. It makes the most sense.
Yeah, it's hard to be sure with Musk. He can be a little bit of a loose cannon sometimes, but I've always thought that the main problem with Twitter wasn't necessarily the fact that there is some censorship or some moderation. I think a successful platform as ours going to have some moderation, but to me, it's a matter of two things: legibility and fairness. So you want to know what the rules are really specifically, and you want to see them applied fairly. Which goes back into legibility. And I don't think any of the Web2 platforms have really gotten this right. I think they tend to kind of do things on the fly. I could see Elon maybe having a more systematic approach to it, to where those rules are a little more legible for people and applied a little more fairly. So, but we'll like crypto for change. So we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. What I'm curious to see is that, so like I remember what was his name? FBS, right? SBF. Sam Bankman-Fried said like if Elon Musk was gonna buy Twitter, one of the things that he thought Musk should do is like put all the messages, all the tweets on the chain, which I hope that doesn't happen, to be honest, because so we've all sent that messages where you're like, I hope no one knows that I actually said something so stupid in writing it. So I actually hope that doesn't happen. That's the only thing I hope it doesn't happen. And I'm sure if Patrick was here from NFT Domains, he would say the same thing, like, oh my God. So I hope that doesn't happen. Yeah, that's just my thoughts.
Yeah, I've drawn a blank on what that other Web3 platform was that was like Twitter, but on Web3. I can't think of the name of it now.
Jack Dorsey's one.
Yeah, it was on it for like a hot minute, and I don't remember. It just kind of like faltered. Everyone was just tweeting to tweet, or it didn't feel like people were like actually genuinely engaging with it. Like they were just trying to boost their coin or something. I don't know. It just didn't work.
That's funny.
Okay.
Well, let's
go for it.
I was gonna say we just got to close out.
Exactly.
I would say that everyone, especially Niftgen, tell them folks where to find you and any info that they need to know about this.
Sure, of course, guys. So just follow Niftgen on Twitter @Niftgen, and also check out our site, create an account at www.niftgen.com. Both of those two things take about 20 seconds of your time to do. So really, you can even do it when you're like walking down the street on your phone. So it's very easy to do. Appreciate all your support. We're going to have a lot of changes coming to the testnet in about a few days, give or take like 5 or 6 days, with new UIs, new experiences. I'll put some more updates on Twitter over the weekend, but really excited to yeah.
Excellent. Frugal, you want to tell them where to find you?
Hey, I'm Frugal BC. You can just search on YouTube for Frugal BC or search on Twitter for Frugal BC. Those are my two main channels in the crypto space. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Most definitely. We'll do it again. Crypto for change. Any words?
No. What does BC mean in Frugal? Is it?
Well, BC is my byline is BC when I write.
Okay.
And so I just use BC, but it also conveniently is the initials for blockchain, so that works too.
Okay. I was thinking, I just didn't know, like Frugal blockchain. I wanted to clear it up for myself.
It's the IBC for interconnected blockchains.
I like there to be a little bit of mystery around it.
Right, exactly, yeah. And Uncle Sam, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, my little man, maybe he put himself back to sleep. We'll see, but I haven't heard him here in the last couple seconds. But love my little crypto for change, as you said. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, and thank everyone for tuning in. Everyone that was in the comments, all those who will watch the show later. Appreciate y'all. PG, any words for you to say before we close out?
Yeah, I just want to say about like just really quickly about the whole Elon Musk Twitter thing. I'm just gonna wait and see. But the fact that he brought in a sink from the first day, is that a
That
metaphor
was hilarious.
for draining something, or is that like throwing in the kitchen sink? Because I was wondering what exactly that was supposed to be about. But I gotta say, he probably means business because he's already fired a couple of people, kind of taking things into control. But I I think overall though, we're probably going to get more publicity though. In any case, with him on board, right? So, and I guess there is no such thing as bad publicity. So,
Time
I'll
to go
say
buy Doge.
needs Twitter though, like for sure. So we need him to keep this thing going. I was like, where would crypto be without Twitter? That's the real question.
You'd see a
good
flood
point.
back on, heck, I don't like Reddit, maybe Telegram. I wouldn't do it.
Oh.
I'd just go back to YouTube again, or Niftgen, right? we gotta get Niftgen up and running quick.
Yeah, we need.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, y'all. Thank you all for tapping in. This is the Passive Income Network. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. Also, go subscribe to the next block. We always do a show every Wednesday at 1 p.m. EST. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. We gone.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Peace out, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye.